In '88, I finished the studies and became civil engineer. I was so proud. And at a short time after that, I got my first job as well. This way, I started to sustain myself. From that moment, my parents stopped helping me with money, which made them start saving to buy a new apartment in Boutsen district, as they wanted a long time ago. During the summer of '89, I had a short vacation and visited my parents and friends for 10 days. I came home with my first car, a red Micra. It was not much, but it was mine, and not a new one, of course. The road changed a bit, but still in good condition, I might say. I've heard about a lot of things that will change in the future, and how many things are in plan for a little town. King Albert also has a lot of influence of what is happening in Arndorf, and that is a great thing. On my way home, I saw so many tourists. It's impressive, they keep coming and coming. I'm always happy to be back home. After 4 more years, I saw a changed Arndorf. Bigger and with more beautiful places, so I went over to the bridge to see them. By the way, I take back my words when I said the roads are in a good condition. In some places they were pretty bad, and the new mayor didn't do anything to repair them. Oh yeah, I found out that Mayor Valls is no longer the mayor. Because of a bad ill, he had to step away. Plus, he was very old at that time. Do you remember my friend Carl? Well, his father won the elections. He had good influence on the people, being the syndicate leader at the factory. I heard he has in plan to rebuild the old tower that's on the Lake Dorfius. This brings me back the memories when me and my grandfather, Ben, were going there to fish. And this can be also good for tourism. Another good point of attraction here. The new mayor's name is Dominic. Until now, he did some things for our community in the past few years, but people are not satisfied. Maybe Valls placed the bar too high. There's another thing that makes me think that our new mayor is, well, let's say more than different. He built the first gas station in Arndorf. The problem is that it's his gas station. Things like these makes you think twice about someone like him in such a very high position. Mr. Valls never did a business of his own or showed that he has more money than he should. I've heard rumors that he even wants to build another town hall. A bigger one, of course, in a new area that is over the train tracks. Not sure if I mentioned, but Arndorf is kinda divided in two by the train track that goes from our little train station. The old part is in the north, and the new part is at the south. At the east side, very close to the sea, a new district was built. It doesn't have a specific name in particular, but it's known as the German district. This was also done on Valls' time. The reason why it's called the German district is because not only the architecture is very close to the German one, but also because many Germans live there. Some of them have a job in the harbor, and some other are working at the factory. The district is split in two by a boulevard and a cathedral. And both sides are done symmetrically. The cathedral is called St. Joseph, and it was built because it was requested by most of the Germans there. The priest himself is a German. Behind the cathedral, there are two beautiful parks. One has a little restaurant in the middle and is surrounded by flowers, benches, and trees. And the other one, which is on the other side of the boulevard, has a small statue in the middle. I spent some time there, relaxing and reflecting on my future. I was thinking of what I want to do with my life from now on. Should I come back in Arndorf, or should I stay in München where I have a good job now and pursue my career? There are lots of new shops and pubs and cool places at the first floor of many buildings. I feel like I'm in München already. In that particular corner, there's even a very modern building with a strange shape which is a coffee shop, and a jazz bar at the first floor of one of the buildings there. Close to this area and close to the park, there's a big and beautiful building. The Opera House! I got the chance to get there for a play and it was really impressive. Actually, it should have been impressive because it was also for the first time in my life. Even though there are only small roads here between the buildings, the traffic flows pretty well, taking into consideration that here lives 5,000 people, plus others that come here for shopping, spending time, and just passing by. I wonder for how long we can be proud of our infrastructure in Arndorf, because I'm sure that at a point we will have to face the real traffic and real problems that big cities have. Anyway, let me continue telling you what else we have here, because I couldn't believe my eyes either when I saw how many pubs and bars are in the same place. I guess you can imagine where I spend all my evenings while I've been home. Kyle joined me a few times and I've managed to talk a bit with him about the new role of his father. He told me that soon he will get a position at the town hall as well. I mean, maybe it's understandable, but still, it's far from being okay and I smell nepotism. But who am I to judge? Let's hope Mr. Dominic won't disappoint us in any way. While getting closer to the seaside, the district has a nice shape and an interesting architecture. If I had been the mayor, for sure I would have started implementing the trams here. We'll need them. I saw them in München and they work pretty nice. People travel faster from work to home and vice versa. Near the sea, there's our first big commercial center. I almost lost myself inside there. It was called Markus Shopping Center. Glad we have such things now. People don't need to travel to another city to buy what they need. Plus, this serves the tourists that are coming here satisfying their needs as well. At that moment, the apartments in the German district were the most expensive ones, because they were close to the seaside and beach. While I was visiting all the new places and saw the seaside and the surroundings, I realized how many trees have been cut down. It's such a pity. Just across the street of the shopping center, the German district ends. But there is a specific building that stands out there, and that is Michael's Gate. It's a remake after the one from Bratislava. I think it's a cool thing to add some nice buildings with history behind them, and also with a great architecture, even though it's a copy. Many other countries copied the Arc de Triomphe from Paris, so why should we too? King Albert was the one that ordered to keep this type of architecture here. So that is why there are still being built this type of buildings here in these years. Near the train tracks, there's a small hill, and I always ask myself what would be there. I just found out the answer to my question. A big cathedral. St. Peter's Cathedral. I have to say, it was not a bad idea and it looks pretty good there because you can see it from a far distance. It has a cemetery surrounding it because the other one that we have is way too small for a big town. Plus there are many people going to church on Sundays. Oh, this one is also a project since Mr. Valls was the mayor. I like in particular the stairs in front of it with all the green area around it. It's another good spot in Arndorf where you can relax and enjoy the view. I went up in the tower because you're allowed. From there, you can have an amazing view above the southern part of the town. You can see almost everything from the seaside to the tower, the paper factory, even the Bautzen. After Mayor Valls finished the German district, there were a few little spots there where was nothing but grass, bushes and trees. So in 1986, he ordered to be built a nice theater. It looked really good and it was a great achievement for our community. Our first theater. My parents told me they've been there a few times seeing some really good plays. But in 88, the new mayor, Dominic, approved a club to be built right next to the theater. No one understood this stupid decision. I was absolutely surprised when I passed nearby. It is crazy. Maybe he has some unknown business there, and later on his own gas station in the remaining empty space. Time passes pretty fast. I've seen my family again, my hometown, and all the new things done here. I also found out that Matilda got married a year before I came. And Carl's father is the mayor. Well, who knows, maybe in the next 2 years when the elections will be, he'll not win again. Hopefully he will not make too many big mistakes just for money. I see no reason why we should have another town hall, or why he started his own business there. But maybe it's just me and others don't see things as I do. I have to leave now and go back to München. My vacation is almost over. See you next time with more stories!
Hello fellas, welcome back to another Arndorf video. Hope you did enjoy the story. It was quite big one, a long one. This time I had to do it like that. I tried my very best to cut as much as I could. But I think pretty soon we will get closer to shorter stories and different builds. Well, I think not different builds, I mean different type of stories and different type of let's say images, videos that you are going to see. More likely into the ones that you were used to it from the beginning, because lately I didn't do those cinematics that were laying over each other in order to see, for example, when you see something, then appears a few buildings and appears another buildings, those crossfades. Well, there will be more like that, and there will be different type of builds and so on. But this was just a moment when I've tried to, let's say, advance a little bit faster than usual into the game. I wanted to make the town bigger. And while I was doing this, it was very hard for me to do those type of buildings and videos. Well, I'll try to come back with more of those, and yeah, there will be other stuff. For example, in my project, in my plans, I have some changes that will be done in the city. So we will have some growth stories when the city grows and stuff happens, stories when there will be changes into the city and stuff like this. So I'll try my very best to make them work as properly and as I want, and I have them already in my head. Maybe they will be as I want to. But anyways, I'm glad that some of you came with some ideas. For example, ideas for how Johan should say, what you can see, what I'm going to build, so how Arndorf will look like, and so on. That's a really cool thing, and don't stop sending tips and tricks for that. because it is very welcome, and it helps me. Sometimes it can give me a very good idea. I got an idea from you guys. I know that for you, Johan's voice is a bit too let's say youngish, and some of you told me that you were thinking Johan will be an old person, and while you were reading the commentary before, you imagine an old guy staying somewhere and telling these stories. Well, I know, but imagine that I couldn't have I mean, how from where I could have taken the voice of an old guy. Plus, as I said before, I thought of it. I thought of having and adding a voice over. First I've tried with mine, but it was mech, and then I said maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I just leave everyone imagine their own type of story and voice and everything. And then I had this interaction with our Johan here, who'd asked me if I would be interested in having a voice over the text, and well, here we are going with that. I really do enjoy it. I like again. I know I said it, but I like the fact that his accent is a little bit German. It is German because he's there from there, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, really. I've also said in the last video while I was talking during the other time lapse, I was saying that we should have our little country, our imaginary country as well, and some of you came with some names, but some of you said something about Albania, I think Luxembourg, but no. Let's try going for something which is not that small as Luxembourg, and let's not think about a country that already exists. I mean, I could say I can imagine any type of country as I did with Osaka, and that one should be working pretty well like that. And somewhere in Europe, even though it's just fictional. I mean, let's not take it otherwise, because again, it's fictional. But I'm still thinking maybe you guys again can come with some other ideas, some good names for our country that has the capital at a city, and then we have Arndorf, we have Willenstein there that already exists. But anyways, maybe that's not that important. Important is that I would love to see your feedback on this series, continuing this series. I really do enjoy building. I have to admit once more, the videos take, I know, way too much. I can't respect the schedule for every Sunday because the builds are very big, and the stories are also have to be done. Plus, I've tried my very best to make the cinematics as you were used to it, but it is quite hard. Plus, after I finish everything, I have to edit the video and then re-edit it, and maybe then sometimes edit the third time. So it takes a lot. For this video for today that you saw, it took me like almost 8 hours to edit every single cinematic, adding the text, maybe changing a part of the text and so on. Then after I got the audio voice from our little Johan, also I had to re-edit and so on, so it takes way too much. So 10 to 10 hours is quite a lot. Plus, I cannot spend that much in only one day. I need maybe 4 hours today and 4 hours tomorrow and so on. It is very hard. So maybe these videos will be split into maybe once at 2 weeks, or once at 1 week and a half, or maybe even often if I want to pursue my, let's say, new idea with those changes and type of videos. But we shall see what's on my mind. Well, I will leave you now with the rest of the time lapse. 2 more minutes, guys, and hope you do enjoy everything you've seen today. It took quite. I'm satisfied with the result, and see you next time. I don't want to say when that will be because I'm not totally sure. See you next time with a new video, and wish you all the best, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to see more of this. And I salute you.